You found the house. The listing says $450,000 and you have the deposit saved. And you think that number is basically what it is going to cost you. It is not even close. By the time you actually own that house, you will have spent somewhere around $100,000 more than that listing price just to get the keys. And that gap is something almost nobody helping you buy the house is going to explain before you sign. Because every single person in that transaction gets paid when the deal closes. Not when you understand what you agreed to. So here is what that listing price is not telling you. The first hit comes before you even start searching seriously. The deposit, which most people understand but almost nobody has actually calculated correctly. In most markets you need between 10 and 20% of the purchase price saved before anyone will look at you seriously. On a $450,000 house that is between $45,000 and $90,000, sitting in your account doing absolutely nothing. But here is the number that does not show up on any document in that transaction. That same $90,000 sitting in the stock market for 30 years had a 7% average return becomes around $685,000. You did not just spend $90,000 on a deposit. You gave up everything it would have grown into. That is called an opportunity cost, and almost nobody accounts for it when they save for a house. Now comes the part most buyers do not find out about until they are already emotionally committed to the purchase. Closing costs. These are fees charged purely for the legal transfer of the property from one person to another. They have nothing to do with the house itself. They average between 2 and 5% of the purchase price. On a $450,000 home, that is up to $22,500 due on the day you sign the papers. Not the day after, the actual day. And that $22,500 is made up of things with official-sounding names designed to feel unavoidable. Loan origination fees, title insurance, escrow fees, attorney fees, transfer taxes. Each one sounds reasonable in isolation. Together they add tens of thousands of dollars to a transaction you already stretch to afford. Now you own the house. And here is where most first-time buyers stop calculating. Owning it costs money every year, even if you never change a single thing about it. Property taxes first, because they never stop and almost always go up. They are calculated as a percentage of your home's assessed value and billed annually without exception. In most parts of the U.S., they run between 0.5 and 2.5% of the home's value every year. On a $450,000 home, that is between $2,250 and $11,250 a year. Every year, without exceptions, for as long as you own it, and as the home's value rises, the tax bill rises with it, even if your income stays exactly the same. Then insurance, which is the one that surprises buyers the most. Most people assume one policy covers everything that could go wrong. It does not, and finding that out during a disaster is a uniquely terrible way to learn it. Standard homeowners insurance covers fires, theft, and most storm damage. It does not cover floods, not even a minor flood. If your basement fills with water and you do not have separate flood insurance, you pay for every dollar of that damage out of pocket. Separate flood insurance adds another $1,000 to $3,000 a year on top of what you already pay. And here is the number that catches almost every first-time buyer completely off guard. The 1% rule. Financial planners recommend setting aside 1 to 2% of your home's value every single year for maintenance and repairs. Not because anything is broken right now, just because things wear out. On a $450,000 house, that is $4,500 to $9,000 a year before anything has even gone wrong. And things always go wrong. The roof lasts 20 to 30 years and replacing it costs $10,000 to $25,000. The hot water system lasts 10 to 15 years and replacing it costs $1,000 to $3,000. The HVAC system lasts 15 to 20 years and replacing it costs $5,000 to $12,000. These are not emergencies. They are scheduled expenses almost nobody schedules for. And unlike renting, when something breaks there is nobody to call but yourself. If the house is in a development or a complex, there is one more cost sitting quietly in the background. The HOA fee, which most buyers underestimate and some do not even ask about until after their offer is accepted. These average around $200 to $400 a month, but some complexes charge significantly more. They can be raised without your individual vote. And if you stop paying them, the HOA can place a lien on the property you thought you owned outright. Now, the mortgage itself, which is somehow the number most buyers focus on almost exclusively. At current rates, a 30-year mortgage on $360,000, 7% costs around $2,400 a month. That sounds manageable until you look at what you actually pay back. Over 30 years, you will hand the bank around $864,000. For a house that costs $450,000, the interest alone over the life of the loan is over $500,000. You paid for the house twice and then some. Most people do not realize this until they are already 10 years into the payments, by which point stopping feels genuinely impossible. So here is the actual number nobody puts on the listing. $450,000 purchase price. Up to $22,500 in closing costs. Over $500,000 in mortgage interest over 30 years. Around $67,500 in property taxes at the conservative end over 30 years. Around $60,000 in homeowners insurance over 30 years. Around $135,000 in maintenance costs over 30 years. The real 30-year cost of that $450,000 house is somewhere around $1.2 million. Now, before you close this and question every financial decision you have ever made, here is the other side. That house also goes up in value. Historically, U.S. residential property appreciates at around 3 to 4% annually. At that rate, your $450,000 house is worth somewhere between $1.1 million and $1.4 million in 30 years, which makes the maths a lot closer than they first looked. But here is what the appreciation argument always leaves out. You cannot sell 10% of your house when you need cash next month. It assumes you bought in the right market, held through downturns, and maintained the property consistently. None of that is guaranteed. And it ignores what your deposit would have grown into if you had invested it instead. Nobody is saying do not buy a house. For most people, it is still one of the most important financial decisions they will ever make. But there is a real difference between buying because you understand exactly what you are committing to, and buying because someone handed you a listing price and called it a plan. The listing price is what they want you to focus on. The total cost is what you actually needed to know, and now you know it.